Alright, the UnaBox. I'm going to make my attempt to build one here with maybe a couple of little twists involved. But this is the base. And it's got some weird dimensions here because the guy who came up with it built it in metric. So I'm sure I could have scaled this differently, but I tried to keep it the exact size, or close to the exact size that he made it. And you'll see here everything is pretty symmetrical. The left and right sides are symmetrical, and so are the back and front, only they're reversed. So it'll be pretty easy to make this base, and then when I go to the sides, they also are symmetrically cut. So I've got my pieces set up here. Got my base, which will be this one. Then you need a top. You need two pieces for the top, basically, because it's a two-piece operation. You'll see that here later. My two sides. I'm calling this the front. And then I ended up with two pieces for the backs, but you know, just in case, I guess. All right, I got my bottom here. I got kind of a dilemma. I've decided I'm going to go with the thickness of the plywood as my depth rather than 1/2 inch is what the plan calls for. You know, that's slightly deeper. So I think the measurements are going to be slightly off, but it will be symmetrical, which is the good thing. So I've got my blade set just below this thickness, and then I'll use my marking gauge lines to clean that up. So I'm gonna make these cuts, flip it both directions, get everything the way I need it to be. And I'll do the first one here and double check not the depth of the cut, but the length of the cut, and then we'll move forward. Alright, I got all my cuts made. I've got to chip this out basically, but I marked the waist that needs to come out on both sides, so I can flip this and not lose my my direction of, or purpose of cut, I guess. Alright, I'll clean this up with a chisel, then I'll come back and we'll mark out the sides. Alright, I got these the base cleaned up. I laid it on one of my sides here. They should both be the same. Scribe my lines, then mark the waist. And I'm going to work off of the inside of the line. You know, I'll do the same thing I did before. Make this cut first, kind of double check it, make sure it's going to line up properly. Do the other one, adjust for the second cut, and then go from there. Okay, not too bad. I've got a little overcut right there, but hopefully when she goes together it'll glue up nicely. So now this is the front and this is the back. These are going to be mirror cuts as well. So I'll just lay out the one here first, and then we'll worry about these cuts down here next. Okay. A lot of work at the table saw, and then some chisel work to clean things up. But still got a ways to go yet. So this is the top. It's going to be in two parts. And I cut both these pieces long. That's going to be that part. And then this part slides into this piece here. We've got to cut a dovetail in that. But the first thing I need to do is probably cut this one to length. I think that's what I need to do. The box is pretty square. I mean, with the way these joints are cut, it's amazing how it goes together, but it does, it's a snug fit. So I'll mark this. Cut that to length. I'll leave the line probably, or just barely take it so that I can sand it flush. Yeah. Now where we locate the dovetail, or how big it is, I don't think is really that critical, but we don't want to go below this level right here. And this is also long. Okay, let me make some cuts here. I'll lay out this dovetail. I'll cut that. I'll probably cut that on the table saw. I'll think about that one.